said a bad word about anyone or taken away from anyone else's victory.
What's up guys and welcome. You are watching Fazi Fitness. So let's start this video with Derek Lunsford, the 2023 Mr. Olympia, who had a message for the bodybuilding world because there was a certain clip going around on Instagram where Derek said, "I don't want that Mr. Olympia title." So Sean Ray, who will always be a relevant voice in bodybuilding, he also left a comment under that video. So Derek had to come out and clarify some things. First of all, if you all watched Derek's latest YouTube video, Rise Again, then you will know that interview happened right after these guys stepped off the stage. And going from first to third, that was a total shock for Derek. And the words that he said after this year's Olympia did not really reflect what's actually being portrayed as the main narrative out there.
So I've been seeing some of the interviews that I did coming off the Olympia stage this weekend, and obviously that's as real as it gets, guys, because I literally just walked off stage and didn't even know what to think and was being asked questions. So the previous story post I just posted is a short clip that is taken way out of context, but I had to share it because what the guy posted in his story and tagged me is so true. And what I put on there was, don't get me wrong, don't get me confused. I'm Mr. Olympia. I'll always be Mr. Olympia, and I want to get that title back. You best believe me. But at the end of the day, I want what God wants over anything that I desire that he doesn't want for me. And that being said, this next slide is the YouTube video that we're dropping, or we just dropped today. It's a good one. You should probably watch it.
And I think everyone should go and watch the entire video, especially that part where Derek talks about how he's feeling after the prejudging. He let all of his emotions out, and one cannot get any more real than that. And contrary to what people think, this right here is the moment where Derek was still confident that he is gonna retain that Mr. Olympia title, although he wasn't happy with the way he looked, because he wanted this to be a slam dunk.
I believe that tonight I'm going to retain the title, and we're going to do the same exact thing between now and next year. We're going to work like a dog to come back to make it a slam dunk.
Because he took the entire year off. He skipped the Arnold, trained for an entire year for just one show. He made some very good progress, some very unreal improvements, and that too in every single area of his physique. So he had the right to be this confident. So going from first place to third, one cannot even imagine what that felt like. But now that his emotions have settled down, he is gonna work harder than ever. He is gonna come back stronger than ever. He is gonna fight extremely hard to get that title back.
And I have, for sure, but I'm just not happy with, I'm not satisfied with how I look right now. Like I'm gonna come back to finals tonight better. I'm sure of that. But I'm still not satisfied with how I look, because I know I'm better than what I'm presenting.
Because Derek himself said multiple times that what he presented on the stage, that wasn't what he expected. So maybe he feels like he wasn't 100% peaked right. He feels like he can be better than that. So we will see how that goes in 2025. But as a fan of the sport, I feel like this was my responsibility to get his statement out there, to get his message out there, so that we can clarify some things. The more you look at Martin-Fitzwater and his physique, his new pictures and the video, the idea that he was undoubtedly not only the most ripped guy, but the most perfectly peaked guy in the men's open bodybuilding at this year's Olympia stage, the more you realize that that is true. I mean, if someone can stand next to a guy like Hany Rambod and also Derek Lunsford and make his hamstrings look more dug out and more detailed than both of these guys, you just know how insane he looked. And to think that this was just his first ever Miss Olympia, it is so unbelievable. So there is absolutely no exaggeration saying that the next time Martin steps on that Miss Olympia stage, which is gonna be in 2025, he is gonna be aiming to crack at least top 3. And who knows, he might be aiming to fight for that Miss Olympia title. I think we can all agree that the man has an awesome shape, insane symmetry, and he is ridiculously thick from the side. But most importantly, the quality of the skin, that is just top tier. And that is what allows him to showcase more detail than anyone else out there. And that is why we get to see every fine little detail. And I have to say, you have to have great genetics for that. So Martin's year started with Detroit Pro, and he proved to us that he can get bigger and better from every passing shoe. From one show to the next, he improved tremendously. And that is exactly what happened in 2024. He was good in Detroit Pro, he was better in the New York Pro, and he was at his absolute best at this year's Miss Olympia, squashing that myth that you cannot peak multiple times every year. So Martin can use this upcoming offseason to a great degree for putting on more muscle, more size, and maybe compete towards the end of the year in order to qualify for Miss Olympia. Or who knows, he might apply for this upcoming Arnold. They sure won't reject his application this time, as they did this year. Now, as a young guy, I am sure he is very aware of the fact that he needs to be really smart on how he trains, keep that waist as it is, because the illusion that he creates on the stage with those big quads and small waist, that crazy V-taper, that is surely one of the biggest reasons why he stands out so much in any kind of lineup.
Yeah, but I don't want people to think, oh, I'm trying to throw Chris under the bus.
I think we can all agree that the Andrew Jacked that we saw at this year's Miss Olympia, that wasn't the best Andrew. Forget about how much he weighed. Here at the Olympia versus Texas Pro, the Texas look was just way more polished and way more sharper, not to mention way more drier. So what really went wrong with Andrew's prep this time? No, there wasn't any injury. Andrew was 100% going into this year's Miss Olympia. And thanks to Psycho Fitness, aka Chris Lewis, for putting out this statement. The crux of the matter is that Chris Ezito, who is his coach, who did the diet and supplements protocol, he wanted to bring Andrew much more bigger, and Psycho disagreed. But eventually, as the coach, it was Chris Ezito's call on how he wants to bring in Andrew.
But Aceto, who has more years at this level than I do, he really thought bigger was going to be better. I disagreed. And as I'm saying, you can't say Aceto without saying me, because at some point I signed on.
And keep in mind, Psycho Fitness did not put the blame on Chris Ezito, because when you win, it's the entire team who gets the credit, and the loss also goes to the entire team.
Yeah, but I don't want people to think, oh, I'm trying to throw Chris under the bus. No, yeah. No, I'm from the hood. If one of us go to jail, we all go to jail.
So it was basically a miscalculation on what kind of a look they wanted to present. Which is, I'm gonna say, kind of surprising, because Tyler Mannion in Texas Pro Breakdown, he said that if Andrew comes in looking the way he looked in Texas Pro Finals, he is gonna be so damn hard to stand next to. He did not say that Andrew Jacked, he needed more size. Yes, he needs more hamstrings, more glutes, but not at the expense of looking soft. And I am afraid to say that is what we witnessed at this year's Olympia, especially in the lower half from the back. Now we all thought that Andrew for sure is going to dominate some of the front shots at this year's Olympia against all the top guys, like the front double, front relaxed, the front lat spread, including Hany, Samson and Derek. But that wasn't the case. That isn't what happened. And that is why I have said this so many times, that sharper conditioning, more detail, more separation, that will always be more superior than a bit more size. So the good thing is that Andrew is doing this upcoming Arnold, and his track record shows that he always looked better in all the shows other than Miss Olympia. Next up is the official statement made by 25 times Olympia winning coach Hany Rambod, with 3 of the best bodybuilders standing alongside him. Now obviously Hany Rambod must have been a bit disappointed with the men's open results. Many of us, including him, we were thinking that it's gonna be either Hany or Derek winning the Olympia one more time. Well, Hany dropped to second, and Derek came in third. So that was kinda unexpected, because he is the greatest bodybuilding coach in the history of bodybuilding. And not many people thought that Samson Dauda will bring his best look ever with his wife Marlena as his coach. Yes, it is really hard to believe that the 25 times Olympia winning coach basically lost to Marlena, who was prepping his first ever Miss Olympian. Yes, I know Samson Dauda is just nuts. He is one of the best bodybuilders of the last decade or so. But the credit also goes to his wife, Marlena, as his coach. And she 100% deserves that. But that being said, this is why there is so much love and respect for Hany Rambod as a coach among his athletes. I mean, look at those comments made by these 3 champions for Hany Rambod. So with Chris Bumstead retired, Hany doesn't have anyone in the winning circuit for 2025. I bet he's gonna come back harder than ever with Hany Rambod and Derek Lunsford. Or who knows, maybe he is gonna pick someone up in Classic as well. So hit the thumbs up button if you like the video and smash the subscribe button if you wanna come back for more. Thanks for watching.